About those clans,
yeah.
That's a very Zulu or African concept. In business, you're seen as a modernizer, an advocate for change, but you're also seen as quite a traditionalist in terms of your value system. You even have a herd of cattle in KwaZulu-Natal. Is there a tension there between being modern in your business outlook but quite conservative and traditional in your personal outlook?
I take that as an accolade. I'm very humbled by your observation. I believe that people who do not lose their roots are very, very key in society, and I learn from people who are like this. It is very, very important that our heritage is not lost as African people. It is very important that we are proud of who we are, not as a way of dividing ourselves from the other people, but as a way of solidifying ourselves. The firmness, being sure-footed, being able to focus, comes from understanding who you are and where you come from. And I try this very much in terms of my own offspring and their own offspring as well. You know, it is very important that we should work towards entrenching our traditions. Modern does not mean get lost. Modern means that today, it means today. You see communities, Jewish communities, Indian communities, other communities who are very, very strong as communities and strong in their traditions, and yet they are very successful. They lead in business, in the economy, and so on. So there is no conflict or contradiction between tradition and modernity. And
there's no need to choose, because often they say as an African leader you must choose. Either you're a progressive modernist or you're a backward traditionalist. Precisely.
We've got to take pride of who we are. I have had the good fortune of not only admiring the Zulu traditions, but also of being exposed and admiring the Xhosa traditions, the Sotho traditions of this country, and so on, because of the multiple heritage nature of South Africa, and I would like to encourage
I have a final and a brief question. How does an African man take on astronomy as a hobby? I
sense it comes from what was being done by Professor Berger of Wits University, finding the fossils that they found recently in Marubing. I always have a desire to understand deeper about who we are, where we come from, where we are going to. For me, it's part of the quest to know. I do not like hobbies that are frivolous and light. It is a hobby of mine, and I think a hobby must be meaningful. And if my hobby is to sit and look at something, you know, that's an idle hobby. It takes me nowhere. So it's a hobby of mine, and it resonates with my serious nature. And I would wish also we take hobbies such as this.
I thank you so much for being our guest tonight on Captains of Industry, Dr. Bongani Khumalo, a man searching for deeper meaning in life, a man who has reconciled quite comfortably the traditions of his heritage with the modernity of where Africa's going forward, a man who believes in the transformation of this economy, a man who's conscientious in terms of the fight against HIV and AIDS, and a man who says, be real in business, you don't have to fake it. This was the worldview according to Dr. Bongani Khumalo, an entrepreneur, AIDS activist, a leading light in the BEE space, a mentor, a father, and astronomer.